Hi, I'm Jake, and this is the 2022 Audi e-tron GT. Now I'm standing out in this busy parking lot on a busy intersection because they have a special ChargePoint high-performance charger here, and I've had this car for a week and haven't charged it yet. I've burned about 120 miles or so. There's about 135 left. It's supposed to have a claimed range of 238 miles. So I was going to have a comical sequence where I try to figure out how to use this thing because I tried last night and didn't work after trying a few other chargers that didn't work. But I realized that my phone is connected to the charge point. So I'm going to plug it in here and we will see how fast it charges. There is a charger door on both sides. One is for the high voltage and one is for the low voltage. I couldn't figure out how to get this one open last night, but I think what you have to do is lock it. So let's see if it works. There we go, it worked. Okay, herein lies the problem. I've downloaded the app, I connected my app to the charger. I've plugged the charger in, but I did have to move my car halfway over the spot so it would actually pull the cord here. I did have to still kind of stretch it to get it to put in, and I plugged it in. It says waiting for EV, and this light turned white, and then it turned red, and now it's not doing anything. So I'm going to try and unplug it and plug it back in. Well, okay, wait, yeah, okay, now it's red again. I did try locking and unlocking the doors. Still won't let me pull it out, which could be concerning. So let me pull it out. That's good. Unavailable. Okay, it looks like we have success. We're charging at about 90 kilowatt hours. I just had to unplug it and plug it back in and reinitialize my app. Everything seems to be working now, so we'll hang out here for 25 minutes and hopefully it'll be full. Of course, while we wait here, we can talk about the 2022 e-tron GT and its two electric motors, making a total of 469 horsepower and 464 pound-feet of torque. Now, during launch control, they can do an overboost function up to 522 horsepower, which makes it good for a 3.9 second sprint to 60 and a top speed of 152 miles an hour. We wouldn't advise going that fast if you want to keep the battery full. So if you're trying to imagine the size, the Audi e-tron GT is about an inch width of the Audi A7. It's a full-size sedan-sized car, although it feels a little smaller inside. It has a big brother named the e-tron GT RS, has 637 horsepower, and obviously it rides on the same platform as the Porsche Taycan. It comes with 20-inch 5-spoke wheels, but these are different 20-inch 5-spoke wheels that come on the Prestige package, and they have the black accents in between the spokes. So as you can see, I had to pull all up in this motorcyclist spot, so let's hope he doesn't come out here while I'm shooting this video. But while we're back here by the trunk, it is not a hatchback, it is a trunk, which means that it's pretty small, 9.2 cubic feet. Compare that to the A7, which is obviously a hatchback, to 24 cubic feet. So that is a big difference. But we do have our cooler in here, as we usually do. There is a bag of the Audi charger stuff in here to plug it into your house if you need to. It would take up some of the room. If you own this car, that could probably be left in the garage. So there would be more space. This will slip under there, so it will slide all the way back. So I don't know if you could do a week's worth of gear for a whole family, but you could definitely do a weekend's worth of gear. And we're now at about 111 miles added in 20 minutes or so. Pretty good. All right, so now we're off the loud road in the major intersection where that charger is located, and we're all charged up, or mostly. I got about 112 miles in about 22 minutes. And it cost me about $2-3, so that's a pretty good deal when you consider miles per dollar. So now we're in the back seat here, and it feels a little bit cramped getting in. It's kind of hard to get in, but once you're sitting in here, it's not that bad. Knee room measures, I think, 32 inches, and shoulder room is about 53 inches. It doesn't list headroom yet. This car offers two roofs, a glass roof, and eventually it will offer a carbon fiber roof, so that's why I didn't offer that yet. If I lean back here, my head just hits the top of the roof, and I'm 5'10", so keep that in mind. There is space for 3 passengers back here, although the middle space is pretty narrow. Not a lot of storage space either, no pockets back here. You have small pockets in the door, and that's about it. Definitely would be enough room for 4 adults. 5 adults would be tough, maybe 4 adults and a kid would be perfect. Also, the armrest folds down, and there's a ski pass through, and if you need even more space, the rest of the seats fold down as well. We had both child seats back here for the week, and everything seemed adequate. All right, now we've moved to the front seat here in the 2022 e-tron GT, and as you can see, it's a little more normal than you would expect for a new, fully electric, flashy car. The entertainment system is the same as your regular Audis, with your main icons on the front here, your 3 favorite boxes, and then your quick buttons on the side here. Phone, yeah, I unplugged my phone because it would not record if I did that. As you can see, there's very nice Google Maps navigation here. The rest of your icons here. Below that is your climate and these nice toggle switches here, which are nice and easy to hit while driving. You know, we don't love the press a button for each degree of cooling. I'd rather have a twist dial for that, but it works okay. And when it's this hot out, you can just keep it set around 66 all week. So that makes it a little bit easier with the hard buttons for that. And then below that, you have your drive select and your traction control, your cameras, and your automatic parking and stuff like that. And then your center console, the piano black, which we don't love, especially when it's angled up at your face, because if the sun is coming through, either through the sunroof or through the front, it'll beam right in your face. But obviously 2 cup holders here. This cool little volume knob here, you just kind of slide your finger across to twist it, and also skips tracks back and forth like that, which is pretty cool. Then if you look at your gauge cluster here, it does look a little bit different. You have your range in front there. You have a couple different views. You can go with your big percentage and your speedo, or small and your safety features and your range, always in the middle there. A couple different modes for that as well. So now you can see we're back down to 197 miles per range. We've been messing with the drive select modes, which actually change range. So if I go into efficiency, see, it goes back up to 202. If I go into dynamic, it drops down to 191. So it should keep a pretty accurate gauge of your range, and so far it has been pretty accurate. But for the fun part, let's go for a drive. All right, we're out here on Telegraph Road in the 2022 e-tron GT. And the first thing I want to say about electric cars is about the center of gravity. The reason that they handle so well and they're so fun to drive, besides the immediate torque, is that the batteries are all under the floor, which makes changes of directions and quick turns super easy and super stable, which is the most fun part about these things. Even something as normal as the Chevy Bolt is more fun to drive than you would expect because of that low center of gravity. Same thing with even the Kia Niro. All the electric cars I've driven have been, in recent years, not the old ones, have been more fun to drive than expected. As far as some of the little complaints, the rear window is canted so hard that the actual opening looks like this in the rear view mirror. So you really have to get it set up perfectly to see the horizon, which is fine. There's nothing blocking it. It just is a little smaller than you would expect. So right now we're in efficiency drive mode, and obviously that is the most efficient mode and the most comfortable. It also turns the AC down to the economy mode to save you more energy there. It also limits the speed to about 85 miles per hour, which is probably fine for all normal travel, I would say. It has a little green portion that goes up to 85, and then it turns red after that. I'm guessing if you floored it, it would go past that. It's just showing that you're using a ton of energy. When you switch to comfort or dynamic, that green line goes away. It's all red, and you get the full power of the motors, which, like we said before, is 469 horsepower, 464 pound-feet of torque. But with the overboost launch control function, you get 522 horsepower. And of course, this is Audi, so that's all-wheel drive. The brakes are nice and stiff, which we like. And you can kind of feel where they go from regenerating energy to actually using the mechanical brakes. We always like them to be more stiff than too squishy. I was just in the Volkswagen Tiguan, the new Tiguan, and obviously it's a more normal car, but the brakes were very relaxed, as I would say. So as you can hear, at slow speeds, this has a little noise to it, because I think that's for disabled people, blind people, you want to need to be able to hear the car. If you can't hear the road noise, if it's just creeping around the corner, you need to be able to hear it approaching. That's for safety's sake. Now, I will add, though, that the quietness, as a driver, the quietness, I didn't really notice it. Between, you still have road noise, you still have wind noise, you have the radio on, you're talking. I don't notice that I don't hear an engine in the background. But what it is good for is the rest of the community outside the car. And I would venture to guess that once 30% or 40% or 50% of cars are electric, everything will be a lot quieter out on the road for the walkers and in general. So that's good. That's another good thing about electric cars. Speaking of the regen and the brakes, the paddle shifters adjust your regeneration levels. There are only two. There's 0, 1, and 2 basically. And we are on 2 right now, which is the most regen. And if I snap off the pedal, you can barely feel the drag on the engine. Normally, when you put it in the most aggressive mode, you get a big drag on that engine, and some EVs actually even have one pedal driving. This does not have that. Audi did say that it will save that for another model. And the last thing, so this beautiful panoramic piece of glass above my head is tinted, obviously, but I was super surprised the first day I got in the car. It sat in the sun for 8 hours here in Michigan, and it was not cool. It was 85, 90 degrees all day. And I got in, and it was only 100 degrees. You know, I thought for sure it would be 100, 150, 175 degrees, but it was tolerable. And maybe that helps because most of this is gray and not black, but whatever the UV coating is on this panoramic glass is very good. Audi's tech in the autonomous driving, semi-autonomous driving world is one of the best and real easy. I think you just press your lane keeping there and you're set there, and boom, I'm set at 55 miles per hour following the car in front of me. This road is obviously straight, but Audi will follow the curves when the road curves. I'd put this up there. You know, Mercedes has a pretty good system. This is good. You know, Cadillac's Super Cruise, we love, best system I've ever felt, completely hands-free system. I'm excited to try Ford's Blue Cruise, so that'll be the next one on the list. But overall, a fun electric car, clone of the Porsche Taycan, and we would have to recommend it over almost all other electric cars, including the Tesla Model S. Although we'll be excited to drive that Plaid. Buying an electric car with this much power is like learning karate. You have it, you learn it, so you don't have to use it. This thing is content to dawdle around all day at the speed limit, and then whenever you want to, you can mat the throttle and blow out almost any car on the road. I will say that I haven't driven a Tesla, but I've been in a Model S and a Model 3, and neither of them felt as buttoned up as this Audi e-tron GT. It starts at about $100,000. This one, as tested, is $120,000. That's $7,000 in the Prestige package, which adds your lane keeping and your adaptive cruise control, your head-up display, your quiet glass. Also the Performance package, which adds your rear-wheel steering, your e-torque vectoring, the different wheels with the summer tires, and then the full leather package for $4,000. That one we might skip, just because we don't really need the full leather, but the Performance package has some useful options, as does the Prestige package, especially if you're getting a $100,000 car like this that's supposed to be tech forward. You want to get that technology package. So, we'll see you next time.